You're not fat because you have bad genetics, you're not fat because you're too busy, and you're certainly not fat because you are big bone. The real reason why you're still fat is because you are lying to yourself. Now this video may sting a bit, but it'll also set you free. My name is Conan. I've competed in 2 bodybuilding shows, ran 2 marathons, and helped busy men drop 30 to 50 pounds without sacrificing their favorite foods. I've coached hundreds of guys in their 30s and 40s with full-time jobs, wives, kids, busy schedules, and I've seen exactly why most men stay stuck for years. So in today's video, I'm gonna break it down. The 3 uncomfortable truths that are keeping you fat, why cardio, keto, and motivation aren't the answer, and the exact mindset shift that you need not only to get lean, but stay lean forever. So let's get into it. Part 1, you're not in a calorie deficit, even if you think you are. Now let's just get this one thing straight. If the norm on a scale is not going downwards over a consistent period of time, you, my friend, are not in a calorie deficit. And now I don't care how clean your diet is, how many salads you eat per day, how colorful your diet is, none of that stuff matters. If you're simply eating more calories than you burn on a daily basis, you, my friend, are going to continue on gaining weight. And I see so many people make this mistake. People tell me like, hey Conan, like I'm eating so healthy all the time. I'm eating salads, Caesar salads, I'm eating nuts as a snack, which by the way, is a horrible snack, but I'm eating all these healthy foods, but the weight simply isn't dropping. And there's a big difference between eating healthy, which I think is great. I eat healthy all the time. I think it's awesome. Everyone should be doing that, versus eating in order to lose fat. And now eating healthy does make it a bit easier for you to be in a calorie deficit because most healthier foods tend to be lower in calories and higher in volume, but you can still very easily overeat on some of them. But specifically foods that tend to be higher in fat as well. So think of like your avocados, your olive oil, your nuts, your seeds, right? Like all these like healthified foods, which again are super healthy, loaded with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, all these things. But you have to remember that calories in versus calories out still applies, right? So you could have 10,000 avocados and just because it's healthy does not mean you're going to drop weight. You are still going to gain weight no matter how healthy your diet is. So you're either in a calorie deficit or you're not. Now, here's what most guys do. They skip breakfast, eat grilled chicken breast for lunch, then binge on trail mix, protein bars, bites of their kids' foods, or snacks while watching Netflix. Now, these invincible calories add up very quickly. 200 calories here, 300 calories there, handful of nuts there, seeds there, it adds up fast. And now that is the difference between fat loss and fat gain. Study after study has shown that people underestimate how much they're actually eating by up to 50%. So unless you're tracking your food with surgical precision, you are probably eating way more than you think. So make sure, and you don't have to do this forever, but get into the habit of tracking every single thing you eat, using a food scale, preferably a digital food scale. Do not use those old school ones. And please, for the love of God, do not use measuring cups or measuring spoons, because I used to make this mistake in the past before where I would measure out 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, but obviously knowing myself, it was a heaping tablespoon. And I do the same thing with like my oatmeal. I would jam pack the oatmeal into like my measuring cup. And I used to do this with ice cream too, back when I followed the flexible dieting, if it fits your macros approach back in 2014, 2015. I was a teenager at the time. I was like, oh, I can eat ice cream and still get 6-pack abs, sign me up. So I did that, but I would like jam pack ice cream into like this measuring cup, and I would just like jam it and jam it and jam it and say, hey, this is still half a cup, right? So I would eat that, and then yeah, I was eating like probably like way more than I should have. Part 2, you're overestimating exercise and underestimating NEAT. You think your workout burned 800 calories? I hate to break it to you, it probably didn't. Your Apple Watch is lying to you. Most workouts, even high intensity ones, burn 300 to 500 calories max. And even that depends on your size, effort, and intensity. But here is what actually moves the needle for fat loss. It's called your NEAT, which stands for your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Basically, all this really means is all the movements you do throughout the day that aren't really considered as exercise. So me talking to you guys right now on camera, me moving my hands around, me talking, me fidgeting, me just walking around aimlessly, me doing the chores, me doing the dishes, me folding the laundry, me doing all these small little tedious kind of tasks throughout the day, I don't really consider as exercise, obviously, right? But by doing all these small little tasks throughout the day can actually add up to burning hundreds of extra calories throughout the day that you don't even account for. So once again, this could include your walking, standing, taking stairs, and pacing during phone calls. These tiny little actions can burn 2, if not 3 times more calories than your workout does. But here's the thing that starts happening when you start dieting. You feel tired, you move less without realizing it, your calorie burn drops, and suddenly your deficit disappears. Now here is the solution. Keep track of your daily steps. 8,000 to 12,000 per day minimum. Walk after meals, take calls standing, park further away. This is the fat loss cheat code that no one talks about. Part 3, you're still snacking like it doesn't count. Now you claim to be eating 2,000 calories, but did you keep track of the peanut butter on your spoon or the handful of nuts, the licks, bites, and taste you had while cooking? That that splash of milk in your coffee, that drizzle of olive oil. All of these small little things matter and it adds up. So let me break this down for you. Just 1 tablespoon of olive oil is already 120 calories. A small handful of almonds is already 200 calories. And 1 slice of cheese is up to 150 calories. Do that 2 to 3 times a day and you have completely erased your calorie deficit. You're not lazy, you're not broken, you're just simply unaware. Part 4, the real fix. Now here's what actually works every single time. Number 1, track your food like your paycheck depends on it. Weigh it, log it, and get brutally honest. If it goes in your mouth, it goes into the app. So we have all of our clients log their food on an app called MyFitnessPal. I personally use the free version. I encourage everyone else to use the free version. You can get the premium version. You can do some cool little tweaks, but you don't have to get super like scientific with this. Just make sure that everything that you do eat, you just log it and you track it accurately. Number 2, lift weights 3 to 6 times per week with intention. Build muscle, focus on compound lifts, and track your progress. Number 3, walk 8 to 12,000 steps daily. Not sexy, not hardcore, just effective. Number 4, eat like an athlete, not a food addict. Protein at every meal, whole foods 80% of the time, and stop grazing, snacking, and emotional eating. Number 5, stop pretending, start executing. You do not need any more motivation, at least hopefully, if you're watching this video. You need more discipline, accuracy, and awareness. Now here are my closing thoughts. You do not stay fat because of your genetics. I personally grew up as a chubby kid in the Netherlands, and then when I moved to Canada at the age of 11, I got even fatter due to all the food around me at the time, and I thought I was gonna be stuck like that, right? I grew up as like the bigger kid in my family. I got made fun of even by like my own kind of siblings. They made fun of me for being like the bigger person, and it definitely affected me. And then even around my friends as well, I was always like the fatter kid. I used to be a goalie as well when we played soccer because I obviously like filled the net a lot more. And I kind of thought to myself that, oh, is this how my life is always going to be, like the bigger kid, the fatter kid? And I actually used to use the excuse of like being bigger boned. I genuinely thought that was a thing because my brothers were so skinny. I'm like, how's that even possible? If my brothers are so skinny, why am I not so skinny? And I thought that I just was bigger boned. But then when I realized that I wasn't and I actually took action towards reaching my goals, I realized that I wasn't big boned and I was just eating way more calories than I should have. So the reason most people stay fat is because of all these small little micro decisions that you're not even aware of. And until you stop lying to yourself about how consistent you are, you will stay stuck in the loop. But the moment you get honest with yourself, track your food, move your body, and train like a machine, that's when things start to change. Not overnight, but forever. So now you're probably wondering to yourself, okay, Conan, thanks for shining the spotlight on this, but how do I actually keep track of my food? Go watch this video right over here and I'll teach you exactly how to track your food using MyFitnessPal.